Piet, thank you very much for taking your time out of your day to sit with us. It's been quite a journey watching your trainer's career unfold in a very short space of time. So I'm going to ask you from the very beginning, straight up, outsider looking in, when you started your business now 3 years ago, we were chatting off air, during COVID, you started with how many horses?
9.
9 horses. You would forgive someone from the outside looking in thinking, wow, times are dreary in racing, things aren't looking good, prize money is poor, owners are running for the hills. You're starting a business during COVID. Someone on the outside looking in might have thought, goodness me, this guy's got very little chance of making a business out of this. Here we sit, you have 50 horses in training. How have you done it?
With a lot of luck and a lot of determination. I'm a very positive, passionate person, so I know when I started off, a lot of people said to me, why are you doing this? You know, the timing is wrong and that, but I was obviously out of racing for quite a while and excited to be back, and very determined to try and make a success in racing. And it wasn't really to grow and maybe become champion trainer or anything like that. I just wanted to do it because this is where my heart was, and I had a lot of support from a very small group of owners, which has now obviously grown a lot. And I think that growth comes with success. So when you start to do well, people take note and then they support you. But yeah, look, it was very, very tough in the beginning, but I've enjoyed every moment of it.
No, fantastic. You've done exceptionally well, I must say. To build a small stable from scratch without some huge stable benefactor takes quite some doing, especially when you started it. Take us to before that. You were a jockey, obviously. How did you find being a jockey, career in general, and the time off? What were you doing with yourself? Then turning into a trainer. Your jockey career summed up, and then the major differences that you found from being a jockey to now being a trainer. What have been the major changes?
Okay, so being a jockey, personally, I feel it's the best career in the world. I miss it. It's you know, a lot of people pay to ride horses. Yeah, you're getting paid to ride horses. So I think they've got the best career in the world. Yes, it comes with its ups and downs. It's not easy, but in the long run, it's something that's really enjoyable, and people look up to you. They really do. And I was very, very depressed when I had to stop riding. I was out for 9 years, and it was a very horrid time for me. And it was good to actually experience the life of the normal man out in, you know, doing the 9-to-5 jobs. I enjoyed what I'm doing. I opened up a coffee shop, and from there got involved with Ely, and I worked for them for a while, and then I opened my own business doing technical work. And it all went well, but I was never really satisfied inside.
It wasn't horses. Yeah.
It wasn't horses, there we go. And my son actually asked me to just come and ride work one day and just see if I could, and I shut him up because I couldn't do it, but we had an agreement, and I came back and I rode one horse and I went to ride, and Glenn Puller said to me, he said, come work here for me, you can take over the yard one day, and that's how I got back into it. I was very, very fortunate to come back riding for 1 year. Although it was a year, I didn't quite last the whole year, but I enjoyed the little bit that I could ride. Struggled a lot, and I was determined not to stop being around horses again. So that's why I decided to start training. And yeah, as I said earlier, it was hard in the beginning. Wasn't quite what I expected. There's a very big difference to sitting on the side working for somebody training horses to actually having your own yard and managing everything yourself. It's quite testing. But again, it's you know, you wake up every morning, you come here, you spend your time outdoors with these beautiful animals, and that's your day. So training has got its ups and downs, obviously, like I think any career has. So when you're doing this, you look at all the negatives and you complain about that, but you're forgetting about in your previous job, there was negatives there as well. And I keep going back to that to remind me the overall picture, long run, there's more positives than negatives. So
yeah, no, absolutely.
really love it.
when you started now in your thought process, I'm going to become a trainer, who are the first few phone calls that you made? You're gathering those 9 horses. You touched on that nucleus of owners that you had that are obviously still with you. Just elaborate on those people. Who are they? Obviously, they're important people because they played a major role in helping you start.
Well, yeah, look, initially when I started it, I started with horses that I had bought myself. So it was 9 babies that I bought. But when I was moving out on my own, Ron and Barry, who were by Glenn at the time, said that they will support me, and they took shares in all those horses to help me get going. And then from there on, I slowly started selling a little share here and a little share there, and they helped me financially as well when I started off. You know, they've been good, loyal supporters. Ian Robinson as well. He also helped me out when I started off. He had some horses in partnership with Francis Carruthers, and they sent them across as well just to get me going. So. And they've stuck by me, you know. Through everything, they've stuck with me.
Yeah, no, and now, as we were touching on earlier, to get to 52 horses, I mean, that's quite an achievement. What we also were speaking about is, obviously, you're a yard heavily dependent, being a new yard, on juvenile horses, and a large string of those horses are babies. With regards to that, obviously new summer juvenile series coming up, new stakes, new incentives. The vibe at Cape Racing has never been better. You've received inquiries from owners up north wanting to send horses down that were maybe acquired for other regions that are now finding their way down to here, which is obviously fantastic. What is your general take on 2-year-old and juvenile racing? Have you been a participant of it in the past? Is it something that you look to when you're at the sales procuring these horses? Are you looking at precocious ones? Are you looking at more classic types? What is your selection procedure at sales, and what type of horse are you looking to get through the door? Is there a specific type, or are you looking for a wide base?
So initially, because I was starting up, I was looking for horses that would come quite early. I was looking for the speedy type horses, and I've been fortunate. I think I won the first juvenile race last year as well as the year before, so I was quite lucky to get those horses. But this year, I got quite lucky that I got a new owner in the yard, and he's been a big help. There's been so many horses at the sale which I like. You know, I decided now I want to start finding that more classic type horse, but they're just out of my price range. When you're buying horses and you don't have owners, you just can't quite get those horses. And he agreed to put up the funds. You know, buy the horse that you want, I'll put up the money, and then you can sell shares afterwards. And if you can't, we stuck with it. Yes. So I was quite lucky, and we got some very, very nice babies this year. And luckily this year we've just gone that little bit higher, where we've got horses where I now believe that we can actually compete in the feature races coming up.
One step of quality up on what you have been using, what you've been working with prior to this, which is exciting. Oh, that's fantastic. Talk to us a little about Rocking Ringo. He's been a stable stalwart, WSB Met runner. He ran a considerable amount of times. I think he ran 12 times last season, or 13 times in the last racing year, which is just a testament to your training and keeping him going, and obviously the toughness of the horse. Plans for him this season?
Yeah, actually, Rocking Ringo was the first horse that was given to me when I started by Ron and Barry. You know, they said to me, "Yeah, take this horse and see if you can do something with him." But he's a once in a lifetime horse, I believe, and it's when I say that, he might not be the best horse around. He's not the best horse around, but he's just got so much character and so much fight and so much determination. I mean, he's never seen the vet. He's run against the best. He's beaten the best. He just can't do it in graded level. But you know, and he's as a 7-year-old now, he's got the highest rating he's ever had. So now it becomes a little bit more difficult for him, and because he's so tough. I mean, he just you can run him. You run him, bring back, put him in the paddock, give him a little rest. He bounces back so quickly. You run him again. Because he's getting older now, he's got to have a little bit bigger gaps in between, but he's still a very happy, fresh horse. And we're going to take our chances again. I know we took our chance last year in the Met, but it just turned out to be a bit too far for him. This year we're going to go a little bit different. We're going to try the shorter distances now coming up. We might go either the Cape Mile or the Green Point.
Okay. Yes.
And then we're going to try the Queen's Plate.
Fantastic.
You know, he's got a high rating, and before I went for the Peninsula where he ran his best race, you know, that was the right race for him where he could run off a low weight.
Yeah.
He's going to carry top weights now because
Yes.
of his rating, so we might as well go for those weight for 8 races. And yeah, look, he's a very gutsy horse, so he might not be in that class on graded level, but you always know that he's going to give off his best.
Yeah, he's not going to run too far back.
That's
matter
it.
what happens.
And if those fancied horses, something goes wrong with him on the day, he'll be there.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that's what we're hoping for.
Oh, that's fantastic. Have you got any other up-and-coming horses, younger 3-year-olds coming through? What do you think that the public should keep an eye out? Something that might win a race soon or go through the divisions?
Okay, so 3-year-olds, I'm a little bit low. I don't have many here, and they're not quite in the same league as some of the 3-year-olds that I've seen around. So you know, they're going to be pretty much bread and butter horses.
Yeah, you'll be looking at picking up a few handicaps.
Yeah, that's
I think,
it. Just
I
keep
think
us going.
with this new program we've got going on, I think with the Kenilworth, the summer festival coming out, there's a lot of high stake races for horses over all distances, all handicaps, maidens, etc. So I think one encouraging thing with that going forward is it gives the opportunity for all trainers, all owners, which I thought was important, to have representation on these good days, you know, and we get out to Hollywood Bet's Kenilworth Racecourse and have a good day, and all types of horses can run for good prize money. So I think in a yard like yours, where you're heavy dependent on young horses, it'll help bridge the gap till those young horses get out there and running. Because I mean, you run horses regularly and you've been pretty busy. I imagine with 26 2-year-olds to come out this season, you're going to be a lot busier into next year as well. So we're going to take a walk through your yard and look at a couple of horses that you have got shares available in. We'll put out some information to the viewers on those horses. And how do people reach you? What is the best way to reach you? I know you're obviously very active on all the social media pages. Which is the best way to contact you if people are interested in shares?
Facebook, I never got. I'm not personally on Facebook. My wife handles that, but she's very good. You know, anytime somebody asks for something, she's quick to get onto the phone and tell me, listen, I need to reply. Give me something. So email, telephone. You know, I'm very active on the phone. I get a lot of phone calls every day, and I'm quite happy to accept all those phone calls. But the easiest way is probably then email or Facebook.
Fantastic. And at the moment, your 2-year-old spread that you've got horses available, and we're talking about ready-to-run type horses purchased at some Bloodstock South Africa sales that qualify for bonuses, or have they been pretty much locally purchased here, former CTS type graduates, or is there a mix?
I think most of the horses actually came from BSA.
Okay.
We have got some CTS horses as well, but most of them are from BSA.
Perfect. So there's a 100,000 Rand bonus for 2-year-old winners.
There we go.
And most of them.
And I try to find horses that could train on, but at the same time win as a juvenile, so you get the 100,000 bonus. I mean, it makes perfect sense. And just touching on what you said about the program, I was running through the program this morning and just having a look at all the races that were put on for the horses that just maybe aren't in that top level. There are days and races where they can still run for a very nice stake, which is very nice. So I think you know, I believe we got very nice babies, and I believe that they're going to be horses that are going to go on and do nice things. But if not, if they're just under that group, there are nice races for them.
Of course, absolutely. And hopefully we've got trying to go a long way in leveling out the economics of ownership, even for your middle of the road horses, with, you know, the Race Cape powered by Hollywood Bets incentive scheme and the new prize money levels, etc. So thank you for your time. It's been, watching your rise through the trainers ranks has been quite phenomenal to see, and hopefully you keep going, because for the operator, the only thing better than Piet Botha with 50 horses is Piet Botha with 90 horses. So let's hope you can get out there. And to all the viewers, we'll be running through some of the horses and the options, and we'll get in touch with Piet Botha's Dare to Dream Racing and get involved in ownership in the Cape. It'll be great to host you, and we look forward to the coming season. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jason.
Cheers. Pete, this bug over here is a Royal Mo colt. He is out of the mare fresh. If my memory serves me correctly, was a very fast filly trained by Corne Spies. I think she was bred at Main Chance from that Sweet Sonnet family. This is one of the colts that you've got a bit of stake available in. You were mentioning beforehand you bought him the BSA sale, so he qualifies as well for that. There's two lovely 2-year-old races for 400,000 each on Met Day. Just tell us a little bit about him. How long has he been in? When did he come off the farm? And what is he going through at the moment?
Yeah, he's when I saw him, I thought he was probably one of the better Royal Mo's that I had seen, and I liked him a lot. And he's part of the syndicate that I decided to form. 2 horses, once off payment, and then never pay again. And because I liked him so much, I thought it was a nice marketing tool, get a nice horse for that syndicate. He's been in for about 2 months now, and not doing a hell of a lot just yet, but ready to start doing a bit more. And I'm very happy with what I bought. He's a nice action horse. He's been filling out nicely since he's been here. He's got a lovely temperament.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot to look forward to with him.
And of course, the Stallion Royal Mo, when you bought this horse, he was still pretty much not many runners and going under the radar, but I think, bloodstock aficionados will appreciate the fact that Royal Mo is really, his numbers are pretty good, his stats are pretty good, and he's got an above average horse and a Group 1 contender with the Snaiths owned by Suzette and Barcy called Royal Aussie. A very good horse stat. So he's a stallion on the up, and hopefully this guy can do the job for you as well, you and your owners.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, Royal Mo obviously just started off a little bit slow, but lately they've all been doing very well. So they all actually when you look at them, quite nicely put together horses, and they look like they could be something. So hopefully, and very nice to see Royal Aussie doing so well and making a name for Royal Mo. But I think there's going to be more to come.
Fantastic. This is an interesting horse. He's definitely stood out when he's looking out of the box. Very good looking. His name is Abound.
Abound.
He is by Time Thief. Now, Time Thief is a stallion I've got a lot of time for. People don't actually realize how well Time Thief's done with his 2-year-olds, now 3-year-old crop. He had a lot of representation in a lot of those big group races in KZN this season. And obviously, he stood in Australia and he sired a very good filly who sold for millions of dollars as a brood mare. There we go. Wouldn't be horses without a little bit of a malfunction. But in her time was the filly in Australia. She's a champion sprinter, and he's come over here and he's produced a good crop of some really good runners. And this guy, he also, Bloodstock South Africa purchase, qualifies for the 100 grand bonus as a 2-year-old. And just tell us about your procurement with him.
Yeah, Justin, look, when it comes to breeding, I don't really know much. I buy horses purely on what I see, just on look. And I liked him when I saw him at the sale, but you just don't know what you've got really until they start working.
Yeah.
And since he's started, I've actually just given him African horse sickness because I think he's a horse that will probably go up for the Durban season.
Okay.
If it turns out that way, I would like to keep him here for some of the races that they've put on here in the Cape. But he's got a beautiful action, and I think he could actually be something special.
Fantastic. And I see we were chatting now, you've gelded him, so no waiting down the line or little interferences in his program. Once you get him onto the grass and galloping, he'll be pretty much ready to go. And I must say, he's a bright-eyed horse and he looks quite plucky. And that's good. You say he's moving well already and going through the processes. And Time Thieves, as you touched on, with the 2-year-old racing, the Time Thieves are very forward and very precocious. So we wish you the best of luck with him. And I think you've got 2 nice horses. It's a good sample. If you've got a lot more like him going in your syndicates, I hope you'll be able to do pretty well. And good luck with them. Hopefully we'll get some people to get in touch with you. And I think this might be a horse I might have to take a small share in myself. He's quite plucky. Why not? Let's do it. Abound. Thank you very much. And as we were touching on earlier, you've got a draft of horses you're preparing for Millstream Farms on the Ready to Run, brought by Cape Racing Sales. We're still obviously about 4 weeks away from there. And you'll be showing them out at Kenilworth. I know we're changing procedure this year. They're going to be galloping on the morning of the sale. But anything that's sticking out for you at the moment with regards to that 4-horse draft, how they're going?
Yeah, I think I've got 4 very nice horses, which I'm hoping I could maybe try and get back for myself. I've got a Botha Palace filly, which I believe will probably win one of the first 2 juvenile races. She is very, very forward and nice action, very quick. So I've got her. Then I've got a What a Winter filly, which I think is could be something special in the long run as well. Unfortunately, with her, she is just going to need a bit of time, but she's got a beautiful long stride on her. She just needs to fill out a little bit, and I'm hoping she can do that in time for the sale for Jan. If not, I'll definitely be trying to buy her back as well. And then I've got a filly, a Romo filly. She's a stunning looking filly. She's a beautiful filly. She's just a little bit on the slow side still. You know, she's nice move and that, but she's still fast asleep and just needs to wake up. But you know, there's nothing wrong with her, and she's a beautiful looking horse. I think when people see her, they're going to fall in love with her. She's a stunning looking filly. Yeah, so I'm hoping that I can try and maybe get some clients that could buy them back for me. But if not, you know, obviously I've got to do right for Jan and you know, get the horses at their best for the sale. I'm pretty sure though that he'll be happy with what he gets.
Oh, that's good. I mean, if you're putting them through their paces and they're showing you enough for you to want to try and find owners to buy them for your stable, that's good going. And thanks for the time at your yard today, and we wish you all the best. And we look forward to seeing your horses out at the sales, and then obviously the runners for the rest of the season. Good luck with everything.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.